So today we are wrapping up this little mini-series that we've been doing on the channel, discussing the worst tropes present in the Spongebob SquarePants show. And what better way to wrap it up than to discuss what I think they should do instead of these tropes. This is the best Spongebob trope, the one location episodes.
Hey!
So I've had big problems with deciding what my favorite episode of the show is. I've said in another video that I got my top 10 done, and the episodes in that top 10 has a lot in common. Wet Painters, the camping episode, and Idiot Box all pretty much take place in one location throughout the whole episode. I also have SP129 up there with my favorite episodes of the whole show, and that episode is probably the complete opposite of the trope I'm talking about. Because it has Squidward traveling to the future and past and nowhere with many locations, which of course is amazing. But if there's anything I'd say SP129 lacks, it's comedy. It is a pre-movie episode, so naturally it's still pretty funny, but I've noticed that most of the funniest episodes of SpongeBob are the ones that have minimal setting and plot. What would you say are the funniest episodes of SpongeBob? If I could pick 5, I'd go with Wet Painters, Chocolate with Nuts, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3, Life of Crime, and the camping episode. Of these 5s, only one has the characters moving at all. I guess they run around a little bit in the last minute of Mermaid Man and Barnacle 3. And Life of Crime has them running as well. Matter of fact, scratch that, most SpongeBob episodes have characters running. The show has ADHD. But the fact still stands that the best comedy in SpongeBob often comes from the characters just kind of sitting somewhere. I stand by the opinion that the middle, 4 minutes of Life of Crime, are the funniest 4 minutes of the show. And that scene is literally only these two sitting around the campfire talking. And what do you know, that is literally the entire plot of the camping episode. It's almost like this show is at its best when SpongeBob isn't just teleporting all around the world in 11 minutes. This also ties in perfectly with the episode that I think is my favorite SpongeBob episode. Club SpongeBob. And Jesus Christ, Club SpongeBob has these three sitting at a campfire. I swear to God, I didn't even think about this when I started writing this, but it might not even be that I like single location episodes, I might just like campfires. But Club SpongeBob, bar the first minute, has literally nothing happening. This episode has no plot, and while this is something that would drag down an episode of other shows, or even season 4 of SpongeBob, it works here because unlike season 4 of SpongeBob, all these episodes are really funny. I could actually bring up Wishing You Well from season 4 as an example of a great one location post movie episode, but for the sake of argument here, that episode does not exist. Season 4 bad. Of course, not all of these episodes gotta have SpongeBob, Patrick and Squidward stuck somewhere. I said in a pretty old video at this point that the best location in SpongeBob is Conch Street, and that is still true. Idiot Box, Snowball Effect, The Secret Box, the camping episode, Patty Hype, and Bubble Stand are all great episodes that basically only take place in front of the characters' houses. Also Waiting, but the less said about Waiting the better. Something that does not count for this trope on the other hand is episodes taking place entirely inside the Krusty Krab or a character's house, because that is not the same thing. Krusty Krab episodes are usually the opposite of this trope, as they are very prominent in later SpongeBob, and they are usually not very funny at all. But basically what I'm trying to say is that SpongeBob is a comedy show, and the episodes with the best comedy are usually the ones that take place in one single location that is not a building. I don't think it's even worth discussing this trope in modern SpongeBob because modern SpongeBob isn't funny. This trope is basically a pre-movie exclusive thing, although I still think there are a couple of bangers using this trope in post-movie. I mentioned Wishing You Well before, and that episode mostly takes place in a small well where the characters can get in some great jokes. The claustrophobic joke is one of my favorites of the whole show. Suction Cup Symphony, Bucket Sweet Bucket, and The Googly Artiste are all strong episodes, using this trope for at least half the episode. But it's safe to say that this trope, combined with the amazing comedy of pre-movie Spongebob, was the peak of the show. At least for me. And that's how we are ending this series. It's been fun doing this, but I'm ready to move on to some other Spongebob related content, and I got a lot of stuff coming soon. So, I'll see y'all next week. Thanks for watching.